I'm actually thinking Valmir's next week.
Oh, please no. That's
Drop timings for the week with the change where the behemoths are no longer patrolling around the arena. He's rooted in place, and so you can drop whenever. If you're really trying to sweat it out though, I find dropping at 53 seconds to be ideal because it seems to be that he doesn't notice you right away, and that allows you to get a little bit of opening on him.
yeah, I mean, I don't think drop timing has much to do with this trial, or probably many in the future, unless they have the global cooldowns.
And the thing that's on global cooldowns right now is the danger zones, which don't do anything right now. Builds for the week. The build that I ran was 6 overpower, 6 rage, 6 rage hunter, 3 berserker, 3 conduit, 3 discipline, 3 knockout king, 3 sturdy, 3 wild frenzy. This is a ugly build. Only 3 plus 6s and the rest plus 3s. Honestly, not a good looking build, but man, is it safe. It gives you so much defense through the Scarn Smashers while still giving you a ton of damage through overpower, rage, rage hunter, all the good classics.
Yeah, the Scarn Strikers are honestly, like, they're so strong. Like, they have so much to them.
Yeah. And then the build that you're working with right now is 6 conduit, 6 overpower, 6 predator, 6 rage, 3 discipline, 3 rage hunter, 3 sharpen, 3 wild frenzy. I tried this build for a little bit and I saw its potential, but the skill needed to play it is immense.
Yeah, because I know I had one run doing this build where you use a quarter at 218, but I lost pred right before the stagger. But that was also with grenade and no aether drive.
Yeah, that's what I was trying as well, was actually grenade with this one, just because not trading with the boops is so difficult.
Yeah, exactly. And that's why now all I've been doing now is focusing on just working on getting the boop and trying to get to a level of somewhat consistency so I can go in there with aether drive instead of a grenade.
Yeah. I think this build is definitely possible of a super fast time. It's going to be so difficult. And then lanterns for the week, I think it's a clear choice of Pangar. He's so mobile that Evermain orbs are probably not going to explode on him most of the time. It's going to be hard to get Drast lanterns all the way down his body. I think Pangar lantern is an easy choice here, especially with the stamina modifier, being able to have that on-demand stamina.
Yeah, I mean, everything about the Pangar honestly fits really well with this trial and its modifiers. Like you said, because of the stamina from the deep freeze, the tap's actually pretty useful, and even the other modifier, the Behemoth Blitz, having his all of his speed, his attacks, and increased, slowing that down at the frost proc is really nice.
The one thing I would say about Pangar Lantern though is that there's currently a bug going on with frost procs versus Malkarion. He sometimes does not like to be frost procced and acts like he's not. So just watch out for that, in particular, like after he's interrupted. Potions for the week. So I think for the most part, it's the 3 ones that we always bring: Aether Drive, Blitz, Frenzy. Already you're wanting to bring Aether Drive because of Pangar Lantern. His staggers already come at good times, so no need to bring stagger tonics. Obviously you bring Blitz and Frenzy to everything. The one exception to Aether Drive is boop grenades. If you either don't feel comfortable doing boops, you're running something like repeaters that can't do boops, but otherwise I think definitely bring the Aether Drive.
Pangar, I'd say probably more than any other lantern benefits from Aether Drive tonic, just because of the sheer output damage the hold can do.
Viable weapons for the week. It's a really tough week, so I think there's actually not too many viable weapons this week. Aether Striker is obviously viable. Hammer, I think, is viable. They're going to have trouble interrupting this week. The ammo interrupts are bugged. You're going to either have to hit them or bring boop grenades, so that's kind of a bummer, but I still think it's viable.
I know you could always attempt the Aether Slam boot, but yeah, outside of that, there's not a lot.
Sword, I think, is definitely viable. I think sword strikes too close to the ground a lot of the time with its repeating elements. A lot of times you're just going to be sitting there twiddling your thumbs with sword, unfortunately. But other than that, I think it's actually a pretty good matchup. Chainblade, I think, is actually a really good matchup for Chainblade. I think Chainblade is definitely viable.
They're really strong against him, yeah.
Pike does not seem like it's doing well this week. I think it's going to struggle really hard.
Yeah, especially with the deep freeze, probably hurt Pike a lot too.
And same thing with Axe. I think Axe is in the same category. The stamina modifier absolutely kills Axe, and with how quick he is, I don't think it's viable.
Yeah, I think you'd spend most of your time probably just chasing after him.
Repeaters, I do think is viable, but I think it's going to be really hard. You're going to have to bring boop grenades, and so that limits you to 3 boops maximum. If you don't kill him in that amount of time, you're going to really starting to struggle.
Yeah, definitely.
Mistakes in your run. So in my run, I think the biggest deciding factor of me not getting a faster time is right after he goes Aether, he does not go into a boop. He goes into the big giant orb, which I'm pretty sure is RNG. If he had gone to a boop right after his Aether, I probably could have saved maybe 5 seconds or something like that. Other than that, I actually got really lucky in a lot of the runs. I had a non-trade boop.
So for the run I have posted, the Skarn run, that one, I think I actually had an air clap. I can't remember what point it was when he was recovering. I think it was from stagger, if I remember correctly. I got my clap and I tried surging. He was just moving forward, but I tried surging after him and I was gonna clap him to get rid of that and then repot. Instead of surging, into him and clapping, I just clapped the tip of his tail. I'm 99% sure it hit air. That one was pretty bad, and maybe not getting an extra mantra in the beginning as he passed by. But those are probably just the 2 most glaring things I can think of in that run.
Strategy inside the arena. When you drop in as strikers, definitely try to get that first mantra off before he does his first dash. And he's going to dash into you and you want to do a trade boop. You actually purposely want to get a trade boop here to take damage and get lower HP to get more effect out of your blitz tonic. You're going to have a huge damage opportunity. Just go through your mantras and your combos. And then when he gets up, just start brawling with him. He should do a tail swipe into an enrage. And then after the enrage, he should go into a boop shortly after. After that second interrupt, you should be able to chain into a stagger, into part breaks. And then he should pretty much be dead, depending on how good your damage was. This is kind of where it gets a little bit dicey because he'll get back up and you're going to have to hopefully get another boop, but you may have to start brawling with him. It's a lot like Shroud where you get the boops and it's very kind of organized damage and you're focusing parts and doing your combos and everything like that. And then he gets up and you're all of a sudden brawling and it's very kind of going with the flow.
Yeah, exactly. I find myself this week always comparing him to Shroud a little bit. It's the way the fight goes like that, where you have points where you're not just hitting him, like you're having to dodge and hit him, but the main part of the fight is just around the boops.
The main thing I would say for strategy for people that are not going to be able to follow along that exact strategy like word for word is your main damage opportunities are when he does his tail swipe, because he like hangs in the air quite a long time and exposes his head. So you have a huge damage opportunity there and boops off the interrupt. He sends the interrupt move quite often. Learn the tells for that. Learn how to interrupt him all the time. If you hit every single interrupt, you're going to have a good run.
Yeah, exactly. His stagger's not too bad. And like we were saying earlier, the breaks aren't too bad either. So if you just get a couple of interrupts, you should be able to extend those staggers.
Top times for the week. For solo times, top time right now is 128. I think that time is definitely going to get pushed. I know Derp's heading for a sub 120. I think definitely with the Koshai build that you're running, you can get a sub 120 as well.
Yeah, so far we haven't really seen anyone like what I would say do a successful Koshai run. So I'm not even sure what you could get with that. I think definitely sub 120.
Yeah, it's really hard to say. And the fact that this is a brand new trial too, this is the first time anybody's seen this trial. For the entire time that I've been doing these videos, that's not been true. It's hard to say. It's really hard to say about the top times because we don't have any past experience to go off of.
If I had to guess, I think actually a good Koshai run would be in the teens, mid-teens, maybe 115-ish, 114. Yeah, and then I think Skarn could maybe do mid 120s to lower 120s, maybe depending on the run.
I think it's definitely going to be sub 120, possibly the 1-teens, like you were saying. It's just so hard to say with this trial being so new and people not really knowing what's the best, but I could definitely see it. Top 5 right now is 136. I think that's definitely going to get pushed to sub 130.
Yeah, probably right around a 5th place being right at 130 or something.
Yeah, exactly. I agree. Top 100 for solos right now is 238. I think that's going to get pushed to being sub 2 minutes.
Yeah, probably sub 2 then.
Groups, top time right now is 54 seconds. I think a sub 50 is possible.
Oh yeah, definitely, 100%.
Okay. Do you think any faster than sub 50?
I think you can get into the lower to mid 40s for sure, 40. 43, 42. I mean, not like 43, like 44 range. Yeah, definitely think so.
I could probably believe that too. I wouldn't say 45. 45 for top time. Top 5 right now is 102. I think that's definitely gonna get pushed towards sub 1. I would say even 55. 55 for top 5.
Yeah, I think it's gonna get pushed.
100 right now is 154. I think that's going to get pushed down to 130 is what I was saying.
Yeah, I think it'll get pushed a little more. I don't know if it'll be, I don't know how much more, maybe like the 120 range. Yeah, I think so. Especially if you keep doing more, you know?
Hey guys, don't forget to leave a comment down below if we missed anything. And if you like the content, think about subscribing. I'm trying to hit 1,000 subscribers for Dauntless Partner, so I really appreciate it if you do.